Okay, so I just wanted to record this video in between about some of the topics that I have left in my previous videos. So I am going to continue to talk about all those topics here as well. And I will explain a few of the things that I think I have left in between all of the previous topics that I was talking about my intuition and the dream that I saw about my two of my friends, right? So basically in that dream, let me clear it about the dream first that I got. Actually what happened in that dream was basically I was being you know given a task. I was in my school, right? And there people were all like going to college. They were just having their normal day, and even I was having just another day in my dream in that college setup, okay, in the dream. And basically these two of my friends, okay, I already had a doubt on them earlier about whether they are, talking behind my back or something like that. Because I don't know why I just got this negative vibes from them, and I couldn't put that off my mind. Like whenever I would sit around them or be around them or even talk to them in between, I would always get the urge to, stop sharing. Don't share this thing, this is personal, don't share this, they might use this information against you. So nothing that I say I know can be used against me, because the information that I am spitting out to you, yes, I can say that I'm a bad bitch and I have been bitched out by other people as well, even though I was a bad bitch in my past as well. hmm? Other people have taken advantage of me, yes, but guess what, I can take the microphone and go out and say it to the whole crowd, to the whole audience, that yes, I'm a bitch and I have been bitched out by other people. So what? I still came back better than all of the experiences that have passed through in my life, right? Even though it was a bad experience, I made the most beautiful and good and the best outcome out of it, right? That is the me speaking my truth, this authentic version of myself. That is the best outcome of all other experiences that I've gone through in my past, okay? Wherein I couldn't stand up for myself before, I couldn't respect myself enough to leave all of those people, places, and situations, but because I felt bad for them to leave them alone, okay? As being an empathetic being, people who are spiritually empathetic like us, we feel somehow responsible for other people's emotions around us. And me personally, I feel like I'm a SpongeBob, okay? Whenever I am around a lot of people in the crowd, or even around the most closest to my heart people that I'm talking to, I somehow feel if they are going through some bad situation or bad stuff, I feel responsible for that. I feel like I need to fix them. This is how I used to be, like in before, okay, in my life. But right now, I am moving away from that phase towards a new phase where I am thinking and caring more about how I feel and how it's impacting me, about hearing other people's stories about what they are going through or dealing in their life, right? And whether I really have a role in their suffering or not. Because if I am not the one who is playing a part or a role in their suffering, then I'm not the one who is going to take the responsibility to fix or deal with that situation, right? Or feel responsible or feel bad and sorry for not listening to them, or not being there for them. Because if I am not there for myself first, I cannot be there for others. I cannot serve other people at the expense of my own energy, at the expense of my own peace in life. That has become more important to me now, to this present authentic version of myself that I have become today. So basically, I wouldn't have been able to, be able to be this version that serves my divine highest good and not just betrays me and myself, right? So when you're trying to be good to yourself, You cannot always be good for others, right? Sometimes people need to learn their own lessons in life. And my hot take in life is bring back revenge, okay? Because if someone does you dirty, if they go low, go even lower, okay? Because I don't believe in taking the high road and standing and there saying and being the great guy, great person, and being like, hey, I know you have been going through a lot of hard situations, you have been suffering. Oh, I understand you, so I'm not going to say anything. I will keep my mouth shut. I understand your pain, that's why I will not give you any pain. Babe, when you are suffering, right, you didn't care about who you are making other people suffer that are not even related to your incident, right? So why would I care about what I am saying to you? Because you have chosen to hurt me, and you hurting me, what makes you think I will accept that as something nice? I'm not a nice person, I'm sorry. I'm no longer that version of me who takes insults from people, who takes, um, you know, things that are just outright judgy, that are outright, not right for me on my part, because that's not the way, if I was in your position, I would have treated myself, right? So coming from that place of understanding, it did make me feel sad because you did some of the other actions, right? You said you are never going to hurt me or whatever. I don't believe in your fucking words. I will always observe people's actions, and now this new identity of myself is observing, OBSERVING, observing other people's actions and behaviors, but not taking on their, absorbing on their emotions, responsible behind those actions, okay? I don't know what emotions triggered in you to make you act or behave with me in that way or that manner, but it wasn't respectful to me, it wasn't right, and hence I'm not taking it, because I'm not a fake person, I'm not a nice people pleaser person or identity anymore. Because there is a difference between being fake and being nice. Sorry, there is a difference between being kind and being nice. Being nice is being fake outright, okay? You can feel hurt, it can hurt your feelings, but I must say the truth right now. Being nice is basically you are saying to the other person that has hurt you in life time and time again that, okay, I'm a doormat. You can step over me anytime, however you want, and I won't say anything because I understand you are in pain. That's why you are having to stamp on me, you have to dump on me all your negativities. And that's why I will take on it, because I feel responsible for your shit. That is called being nice. You masking yourself, you basically trying to survive just to feel the safety of having other people's validation that you are not alone, you are in their company, and hence you are safe, because you do not feel safe with yourself. You are not secure within yourself to give yourself that safety, and not constantly seek for external validation from outside to feel that safety, because nothing from your external environment can impose that or trigger that safety within you, my love. If anything, then you're going to break the fuck down with yourself, right, when no one is watching you. And you better learn how to pick yourself up, because I have learned that too. And it's not easy, I know it's not easy, but it's possible, you know. At least it's better than building fake relationships around this fake version of you, and then later on finding out you are not happy, you're not satisfied with the current present relationships that you're built around your fake identity, that is basically giving you some source of comfort for a temporary time, but it's not actually making you happy from inside on the longer run, right? Clap for myself because I'm proud. I had just said that whole shit in one go. I'm proud of myself. Okay, anyways, let's get back to this. Okay, so sometimes I believe in being people's karma, being people's lesson, so they don't go around hurting other people or hurting someone else the way they did to me. That's why you need to leave those people, those places, and respect yourself enough to not feel their judgment, their guilt, okay, and their loneliness as yours because you're leaving them. Because usually the judgment we feel after leaving someone, right, who were not serving our highest good, usually comes from the other person. I have analyzed it, I have reflected on this feeling, and have mostly seen, okay, these are not my thoughts. Sometimes you really need to go inside your head and ask yourself, are these emotions and feelings that I'm feeling right now, are they really mine? Are they coming from me? Or where are they coming from? Are they coming from others? From my parents? From my friends? From the environment that I have surrounded myself with, maybe? Sometimes you are not feeling just your own feelings, okay? Sometimes you're feeling the weight of other people's actions in your life, but you are not responsible. That's why I'm saying. And mostly it happens with people who are very empathetic, and that's why you need to learn how to protect your energy by respecting your emotions, your own emotions, not other people's emotions. You know how you do that? Respect your own emotions and protect your own peace and energy by saying shit, calling shit out that people do that is not respectful towards you, or you yourself wouldn't have done that if it was someone else, right? And call that shit out respectfully, not putting them down or putting them on a pedestal like they are the person who could have never wronged you or betrayed you. It's not like that. People do make mistakes and they do hurt other people, right? Sometimes even unintentionally, or sometimes even intentionally they do make mistakes. That's why. And some mistakes are forgivable, okay? Depends on the situation. Like if someone is very brutal and they have deeply betrayed you, betrayed your trust, then of course you are not going to go back to them again. You can forgive them, yes, for your own peace, because you deserve peace, love, and happiness regardless of their nasty actions, whatever they did for you, or maybe you expected them to be there for you but they weren't. Fine, you can forgive them. But before forgiving them, other people, you need to forgive yourself as well for putting up with these, you know, actions, putting up with the energy that you have dealing with in your life of these people, because you didn't deserve, first of all, to put yourself through even more hard times than your life already is. Okay, life is already hard. We already have a lot of stress, pressure to deal with, going through our job, work stress, okay, family, business stress, money stress. There is, tell me, the amount of stress that we already have, and why are you taking on extra of other people's and you are not letting them fucking learn the lesson that they need to, they're supposed to? And you, the only way you do it is leaving them alone. Just leave them alone. You don't need to be there for them. You are not responsible for caretaking every single person on this earth. If you want to help people, first make sure you come by fulfilling your own cup, your own vessel, with your own energy, love, understanding, validation first, and only then show up outside. You are not obligated to show up for people who do not give you anything. You do not owe them anything. You do not owe these people who have hurt you any explanation, any time waste, any justification, any, okay, whatever, the closure maybe they will ask for you. Ki, why are you cutting me off? This doesn't feel right. Them hurting you is already the closure. They didn't think twice before doing it, right? They didn't think twice before talking behind your back. They didn't think twice before making you feel like you are crazy because your intuitions are crazy, right? It's unrealistic. The word unrealistic. You know what this friend said to me? Your dreams are crazy, they're unrealistic. And exactly these type of words are what manipulators use. They will label you as your psychic powers and your intuitive abilities as crazy, as mad, as you don't know anything, okay? But being a spiritual, empathetic being, you know, you can put yourself in other people's shoes and exactly know and exactly find out how they feel. And coming from that place of knowing, when you are in the social context, you can absorb ABSORB, absorb a lot of people's emotions, hence. And that is where this understanding is coming from your subconscious mind. It's not coming from your conscious mind ki wo logic se, yeah, you know, you're just saying things that doesn't have any evidence. Yes, of course, conscious mind needs evidence, it needs logic to make sense ki why am I feeling this person's energy is off or negative. But subconscious, it picks up on all of the social cues that you missed out, all of the negativities of the people around you, the negativeness and the energies that your conscious mind has missed out. And that's why when you get those intuitions and your dreams in the moments of peace and silence in your life, because that's the only time you are not talking to anyone, you are not talking to yourself, okay? And God can now talk to you finally, because you are not distracted by any external validation, external source, whatever. That's the time, that's why God chooses to give you all of those intuitive insights. And those are not logical. Obviously there is no evidence yet, you haven't find out yet कि हाँ they are talking behind your back or they are jealous or insecure, okay? But the actions, their behaviors, your subconscious have made a note about that. And that's why giving you all of this, hey, they said that, doesn't that mean ki they are jealous? Hey, they have judged others. If they can so easily talk about other people like this in a bad sense, don't you think that they can talk about you as well in that same sense around other people? Because if they are talking so easily about you, not about you, sorry, about other people in front of you, are not, is that not a red flag, my love? Then your subconscious will now hit you with all of these intuitions, and it will gradually increase the volume until you come to a bursting point and you have no other choice but to listen to that intuition. And if you do not, you suffer. You learn the lesson instead of some other person's turn was there to learn the lesson, but they don't learn their own lesson. You motherfucking learn once again the same lesson, which they were supposed to learn, by the way. But you take it on you and you become the great guy, right? Who understands everyone but who doesn't even understand themselves. See, that's why the problem occurs. Sometimes you need to leave people alone with their own shit and let them, you know, stop making excuses for other people's behaviors, their choices, their actions, because always remember they had a choice. Always remember that you have a choice in your life. Always. One choice is you go through some very painful, hardship situation, suffering situation, and you wish and you pray that no other person in your life goes through that. Or there is another choice wherein you choose to act like the same pain, trauma, karmic lessons that you have gone through, you also make other people suffer the same way, by imposing all of those, projecting all of those negative emotions onto them. So what they did, they chose the second option for you. They chose just because they were in pain, maybe they were insecure, they chose to make you feel insecure as well. They make you chose to feel insecure by doubting your own intuition and labeling it as crazy, unrealistic, right? Where is your logic here? Logic doesn't work, okay? Subconscious mind mein logic, it doesn't work. We do not work on logic. Who the fuck told you that we work on logic here, or we need solid hard evidence? Is the way that you are behaving right now not enough evidence for anyone to think that you may be insecure? We are not jumping onto any, irrational, you can say, conclusions. We have observed it for a very long period of time, and hence we are coming up to a conclusion now कि it's better, your energy is off, so it's better for me to stay away from you rather than interacting with you and destroying my own peace and energy in life, right? That's the thing. So in this dream, what happened basically, this two friends, we were given a project. So we were in a group, in a team group together, and basically they misguided me and they sent me on a different path. Basically we were walking in a, in this project we were told to collect some items that is kept in the forest, maybe, I don't know, treasure hunt type of game, something like that. So basically they told me you need to go right. These two of my friends, I trusted them, okay? I trusted them in the dream. What happened later on, I went in the wrong path. I was misguided, right? And now I'm coming back to the spot. Everybody is already gone. And what they are saying, they literally said to me, these two people, and even the teacher was like, why did you choose to go on that path? You always follow your own self, your own decisions. You make your own decisions, and that's why you ended up like this. And I was literally standing there, and I know this was not my decision. I chose to listen to these two people who are so called my friends, once were my friends, right? And that's why I'm now on the wrong path. I have ended up on the hell instead of heaven, because I chose familiarity over unknown, of the fear of unknown, and now I am ending up in hell in the dream. And basically I was so scared. I didn't I thought I will almost get lost. I couldn't find my way back to the initial spot from where we started. And it was terrible. I was just I was doing this movements. Why, I don't know. I was throwing my hands off. I felt like crying, and I woke up, and it was on the 999 portal. You know what is 999? So 999 is basically September. It's the month of 9, and 2025. If you calculate 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 5, it comes equal to 9. So this is the year 2025 is the year of 9, and on the month September 9, and on the date 999, hence this dream, I was given this dream. The significance of the 999 portal is basically the release of all toxic karmic karmic relationships, connections, friendships, any karmic soul ties that you have presently in your earthly reality. The release of all those relationships, right? Basically that is the portal, what it is about. So I did a ritual on that day. I already do this, I'm a spiritual person, so I have my own rituals. So I did a manifestation kind of, not really manifestation, but a release ritual. It was a sacred release ritual. Basically whatever the toxic friendships, traumas, you can say, fears that I have faced before in my life, I wrote it down all on a paper. I burned it down. So after burning, you have to keep the ashes in a cold, in a bowl of water when you're burning it, so it doesn't burn the external environment where you're burning the paper, right? So you have to basically write on that paper all of the things that you're letting go of, for example, in 2025. Okay, can be even any of your own toxic behaviors and habits, not just related to other people, but surrounding your own. I basically, my bad habit was me abandoning myself in the process of being there for others. Okay, I would used to be a person who would go to such extremes and lengths to cross a bridge for someone that wouldn't even cross a simple you know what they say, what is that quote? I would you cross bridges for someone who doesn't even cross the river for you, or something like that, cross the river. So basically I was that type of person before. I would abandon myself, like make myself completely forget that I am also a person. I have needs. I'm a human being. I have needs. I have emotions. I have feelings. I have respect. I have my own love to give to myself. All of these things were missing basically before, 2 years ago from now. But now you're seeing me. This version of me does not resonate with that version of me anymore. It's not like we have left that version of us behind. We still remember her. We are grieving her. We are still in the process of grieving. As I told you guys, I'm in the process of transformation. So I'm grieving those old versions and past versions of me which no longer serves my highest divine good, and I'm letting them go with love. It's just like I'm not trying to forget them, like making myself forget or erase all those bad memories. No, because when you try to force that, like you're kind of forcing it on yourself. You do not want to basically leave your past behind, but you're forcing yourself to hence erase all the memories as if it never happened, it never existed. It doesn't work like that. See, in the reality it works like, I have come to this decision where I chose to say to myself on that 99 portal ki, hey, listen, the past version of me. I wrote myself a love letter as well to the past version of me, that I understand your pain, I understand all of the things that you have gone through, and I love you so much. I'm not trying to forget you, I'm not trying to erase you. I still remember you. I'm so grateful that you existed, because if you didn't exist, I wouldn't have been able to learn all the lessons that I did and become this new authentic version of myself that I once used to pray for as a kid. Like literally my inner child is so safe, happy and proud to be with this present adult version of me, that I can provide anything I want to myself. This is what I wanted to be once, and I used to so much pray badly for this version of me that I am currently, which I'm so proud of myself for, by the way. So anyways, I just said goodbye to the old version of me I wrote in that letter. And you can still come with me. Imagine we are in a car, and all of your old versions are sitting behind you in the car. They are taking the back seat. Okay, so I basically told my past version, hey, listen, we are still here. Okay, we are together in this journey. You are allowed to come with me in this new chapter, in this new beginning of my life. We are walking hands held together, hand in hand. Okay, but I need you to understand that you cannot take the front seat anymore. You gotta take the back seat. Okay, I need you to sit back, relax. As I have already let you go, and you don't need to be in a fear or survival mode anymore. You do not need to be scared, because I am with you and I am taking the lead now. I am taking the charge now. That felt so fulfilling. Oh my god, I'm getting chills right now when I'm talking to you guys about this. So this was such a uplifting moment. That whole ritual that I did, I also lit up a candle. I set the intention about what really I am trying to release in this portal, because it is a very potent energy, right? All of the frequencies and vibrations of the earth is very high on that 999 portal, because it is a total lunar eclipse, and it comes once in every, like, you can say 10 years. For the next decade of my life, I wouldn't be able to take, chance, this opportunity that I had that day. If I didn't take the chance to release them, I would have to wait for another 10 years of my life to sit and release all of these lessons, past things, and every old versions of me, memories of other people as well, their energies as well. I had to release so much stuff, and I wrote it all down in that paper. I burned that. I cooled the ashes in the bowl of water, right? I kept it outside. So I was basically following all of the rituals by asking to my chat GPT. Before that, I also saw a video on YouTube of Soma Chaya. If you know her, please go and follow her. She will tell you about the recent portal of that happened on 22 September, right? About the so equinox, like vernal equinox or something, portal was there. Okay, so basically in this, the sun and the day and night are in balance. Okay, the energies of the day and night are in balance. So it is the equinox energy. This is also a, you can say, eclipse season. So many portals and manifestation things are going on, right? And so many rituals we are doing. So those of you who have been on this healing journey, have been doing a lot of shadow work, like almost like the dark night of the soul type. Yeah, so I'm talking to those tribe, my tribe of people, soul tribe people. Yeah, so for them, you will notice the timeline shifts, the timeline jumps. You will notice all of that. But for people who are not into all these concepts, esoteric things, who only look for logic, I do not just speak on logic. Yes, I use logic when it comes to psychology, but when it comes to spirituality, there is no logic. Okay? It's logic doesn't work here always. But yes, there is still some signs, some certain explanations that to some extent can reveal what we actually are trying to, make you understand about the topic that we are speaking. Yeah. Okay. So basically, in that dream, this is what happened with my friends, right? They misguided me, and at the end, when the teacher was disappointed in me, basically, she said, "I wanted you to win, but you didn't win. I thought you would follow and go with us, but you didn't. You chose another road." And basically, I couldn't explain anything after that, right? Already, I'm being accused of being the wrong person here, bad guy here. There's no point now of defending myself there. I felt so bad. I was already on the verge of crying. These two people, my ex-friends, they were standing there and basically saying that we didn't want you to win. Can you imagine someone saying this to you on your face? We didn't want you to win. And that's why we told you to go to that side, to another path. We knew that you wouldn't make it. I got so terrified by that dream. I woke up like, literally, I was so scared. And you know what my end words were when I was waking up, almost in that spiritual 4D, 5D reality, and then I was coming back to my consciousness, back to the earthly reality. I was hearing these last words that I was saying to myself. Basically, my subconscious was saying me, thank you, God, for showing their real face. Thank you so much, God, for showing their real face. And I literally woke up, and my you can see my Bhagwan's. It is here, okay? I keep my God, like it's a sacred place for me. I keep my God there, and literally, I was directly as I woke up, I was looking at God's picture, and I was just saying, like, thank God, you saved me, you have protected me. I would have been destroyed. I don't know what would I have done. I would have been blinded by these people if I stayed there. Because I have see people who are already drowning in life, and when you want to save them, what happens? They will not save themselves or save you either. They will drag you down as well in that same hell, in that same water that they are drowning. So it's very dangerous. Do not try to save the people that are drowning. Either they are willing to save themselves, then they come forward to you and ask you for some advice. It is fine, you can give advices, it is fine. But you yourself, do not put yourself in a position to help, go and fix their situation, go and try to give the advice when they didn't ask you for, or go and try to literally make them understand or realize, hey, you are going in the wrong path. Do not try to do any of those things. Let them learn their own lesson. When you interfere in between someone else's lesson, what happens is you take on their own karma, their bad karma, maybe, to go through that experience and then fucking learn how to deal with it by themselves. But you are not letting them grow, you are not letting them learn it, and hence they are staying stuck because of you. When you try to help them when they haven't even asked you, or don't even want to be saved. Basically, a person can only save himself or herself when they are by themselves willing to be saved, not by you, not by their parents, not by any external things, any external advices, motivational videos. No one, but only by themselves. They have to be willing to do this. They have to have that faith regardless of and if they don't have that faith, nothing from outside can build that faith within them from inside, right? Anyways, so that's what this dream was about, and basically that's all I wanted to say. And about the family part, the abuse that I said I went through in my childhood years, I want you guys to realize that I was, if I can share all of these experiences and the wisdom that I have gained through all of the experiences that I've went through in my life in the past, I need you to understand I'm not just saying it in air. I have lived all of my experiences, and hence I can give you the logical explanation of what actually works and what does not work, or what works against your will or against God's will in your life, right? And so basically I wanted to say that I chose not to share all of the stuffs that I was dealing with my own mom, dad, with my own parents. So obviously for four four years since 2020, right? 2020 is the year that the major, most heartbreaking toxic relationships and friendships was just entering that phase of toxicity, of slowly understanding that I was getting drowned. I was drowning down the hell. It hit me like it took me more 2 years to realize I was drowning in toxicity. I thought it was love. It was not love, it was toxicity. So basically, and I chose not to share all of these experiences with my mom, dad. So because I felt like I would be judged, first of all. I would be seriously like, my family would not accept me anymore. They would disown me on something, but thank God they did not disown me. Okay, but very beautiful things happened after that. I mean, like, no, truly good things. Okay, the things that I was scared of, that never happened. So at the end I was like, why was I even scared, you know? It's of no use of being scared in life. Basically, literally, you making a choice. If you do not make a choice, that in itself is making a choice. Okay, your indecisiveness is already a choice that you are making. So what's the point of being scared? to do something that you know you're meant to do, that heart, your soul feels called to do. Just do it, whatever that action may be. You're still scared or afraid of doing. Maybe speaking your truth, maybe you're speaking your own voice to someone that you haven't, confessed to yet, or you felt like they would judge you if you come around to them and say all of your experiences and things that you have dealt with. It's not worth it to hold yourself back because of the weight of the judgment or guilt that you feel like you're going to face once you speak your truth to the world, right? It's not worth it because the world needs you. There are many people who may not resonate with these messages right now, and it's totally fine. We are not here, every one of us, to be relatable on this journey, right? We are here for the ones who understand us, who finds our messages resonating, relatable, and this message will only find them. And yes, if it does find someone else, well, then maybe there's something in this message that you needed to hear. Maybe you can apply it in your life and it will help you out. So anyways, so what was I actually saying though? I always get lost into my own okay, anyways, let's get back into the topic. So I chose not to come. Yeah, I chose to be scared. At some point in my life, I was scared of my own power, of my own truth. I wanted to run away from my own truth. I wanted to run away. It's not just about my parents. Later on, now I realize it was not just about my parents. I was afraid they would judge me or be nasty to me or be, kick me out of the house. Worse than that thing is you being scared of your own power, of your own potential, of your own. I was scared as well because I felt like at that point I was so toxic. I felt like I could destroy everything around me if I wanted to, but I'm choosing not to do it. I'm rather choosing to destroy myself, not to heal myself. Now I heal myself, obviously. I focus on healing myself instead of trying to hurt myself more than other people have hurt me. That doesn't work here anymore. But the older version of me used to think like that. But I'm choosing to destroy myself. I'm doing the world a favor, but not destroying them. By how? I thought I will destroy them if I speak my truth. If I speak my true deep thoughts and feelings, and what if they don't care and they judge me and they, criticize me, or they, basically make fun of me because I'm in love. And I'm a very romantic kind of fool. I'm not a romantic fool, anyways. But when I'm really in love, oh my god, I do crazy stuff. I mean, I used to do many crazy stuffs that didn't serve my highest good. But now, I choose, just because I'm in love does not mean I will leave myself. Earlier, I used to do this. Just because I'm in love, I was anxiously attached person, okay? I had the anxious attachment style before. 4 to 5 to 6 to 7 2 years back, I don't know how many years have passed anyways. So I used to act like that. I used to be very attached to all of the people that I love, and all of the people I love, obviously, if you yourself are insecure, you don't like your own company, you are scared of your own self, you will also choose people out of that same vibration that you are vibrating at, who also do not feel safe within themselves, who are also insecure, they are also toxic, they are also manipulators, they are also abusive, they will also hurt you because you are choosing to hurt yourself. And yes, at that point I was doing things that would hurt me intentionally. I knew it, I was hurting myself because I knew it what I was doing, but I still did it. It would give me some kind of, I don't know, masochist pleasure kind of thing. So my whole perception about my own self-worth, self love especially, was distorted at that point. But now, hurt people hurt other people. I have understood this. Healed people fortunately heal other people, right? So basically, I learned how to come back to my own self. I took a big break after jumping on from one relationship to another relationship. I would always find myself already moving through in another relationship, because I used to be so desperate, always seeking attention, always seeking validation, always being there for others too much, not even being there for myself. But still, I would expect others to be there for me, but no one pretty much was there for me at that point. And I didn't allow them. I didn't feel safe, I would say, to allow anyone to have access to all those parts, because yes, at that point I had a lot of weaknesses. Not a lot of weaknesses, I mean a lot of insecurities, that I was afraid ki if others are do come to know, they would obviously, I'm in a vulnerable state right now, then they would take advantage of me, because manipulators, they do. Narcissistic people that I have dealt with, they do it. They take advantage when they come to know you are at your most vulnerable state. So you need to be careful about what you are sharing, what stuffs, okay, who you are giving access and to your energy in life. And now I know all of those things. And not saying that after having all of these experiences and then learning your lessons, you will never end up in this karmic lessons, because one thing about karmic lessons are, every time you level up now, to all those people who have been on this healing journey, right? They have been actively working on their inner concept, inner self, and highest self. I'm talking to those people. Every time you level up, you unlock a new identity, and you come step into a new, more authentic version of you than you were before. What happens is, you will be tested by the universe with those same karmic lessons that you have gone through in your past relationships. So you will be every time tested with those same lessons, basically different in different faces, in different bodies. You know what I mean, okay? But you will be tested, and you need to pass the test. You will be thinking like, oh my god, why am I being stripped down of my own power? Oh my god, I thought I would never go through this loneliness, this period of, isolation that I felt before in my past. Why am I going through it right now again? Life is a circle, okay? So this is not to say you're going backwards or you are evolving in reverse. You're not aging in reverse, right? You are aging in frontwards. Anyways, but every time after you learn all of the stuffs, for example, let's say, how do we study in our school? So basically, in the middle of the year, after 5 months or after 4 months, we give an exam, right? So all of the stuffs that we are taught in the class, why do we take exams? To test the knowledge, test all of the materials that you have studied and how much you have learned, right? And whether you have actually learned the lesson or not. Same goes here in this universe, testing you every time you level up. This is a proof. If you choose to act the same way that you did before in the past, or you choose to act different and break the pattern by acting different and walking away from, no matter how much you love that person, no matter how much you cared about them, no matter how much you felt responsible for their feelings, you are not responsible. The only person now, from now onwards, you are responsible is yourself. Is yourself and is yourself. You are choosing yourself. I don't know anything. Go to hell. Rest of the people can go to hell. But you are choosing yourself. And that's how you break the patterns. Most of the karmic, ego-based relationships, superficial relationships, toxic relationships, you will see a pattern in them. They are basically a copycat of either the relationship you had with your mom, with your dad. And yes, exactly, I found out the relationship I had with my ex was basically a copycat of the relationship I had with my, you can say, my own self. Because I was toxic at that point, because I was insecure. And the relationship I had within my friendship circles was basically a copycat of the relationship I had with my dad. Toxic people pleasing ones, where I felt bad leaving other people alone with their own problems and things and stuffs in life. I felt like I am the one living their life. They are not. And that's why I need to fix that. I need to be there for them. It's very toxic. Don't do that. It's very dangerous. That's how you lose your power, you lose your energy. You can listen to people's problems. You can listen 1 year in, another year out. Okay, you can do that. But do not do not take on their energy state. Do not take on their you can say emotions. That's what I mean, because that is unhealthy for you. You have to realize, and you have to let those people deal with it by themselves. You dealing it is making them not learn anything, not grow, not change. Even if you wanted your friends to change, how will they change? How will they treat you with respect when you create value of your presence by leaving? Right? How to create this will be another video, another topic, okay, for this video. How to make people respect you effortlessly. Absence, distance creates respect. Okay, these are some of the laws of you can say 48 laws of power, written by Robert Greene. If you have read that book or not, please go and grab it. It's about manipulation, but it's a healthy manipulation. It's not any toxic. We are not playing with other people's emotions. We are basically learning how to protect and save our own energy, and how to live up to our own power, and how to leverage our own intelligence, the emotional intelligence we have in life, right? That is what it is about. So you can go and grab that book. It will be another video, another topic that I will say. I'm still in the process of reading that book, so some of the powers and laws that I have read about, so interesting. How to make other people respect you. In that, create, if you are a very if you are in a group, right, and there are a lot of other people as well, if you want to be the one who is the most talked about and effortlessly gain other people's attention, you can say, and respect, basically just respect, and to increase your value, right, choose absence. Choose to be, you can say, intentionally show up sometimes, then do not show up sometimes, because absence creates respect. Okay, distance makes the heart grow fonder. You may have heard that quote, so it does apply. I will explain the whole logic of behind this later on, but right now, yes, if you want to be respected, you first need to respect yourself. That is what I mean. And don't try to do it like from a place of, if you are trying to manipulate simply, you are not safe doing it. You're still being controlled by that fear of losing these people in the group that you're talking to, if you are not present to them, right? You're next time worried they might leave you, they might abandon you. So you're controlled by that fear, because you are not effortlessly doing this thing, or being detached, or you're not shifted into that mindset yet. how to do make it so natural state of mind for you that it just normally comes for you. You do not have to go to such extreme lengths where it's too obvious you are trying to create or manipulate this kind of you know thing within other people, but it's natural. It comes naturally from to you now, and you are not intentionally manipulating it. You are just unintentionally now doing it without even you knowing yourself. So if you want to become that much detached and nonchalant person, but in a healthy way that works for you, have your own world, have your own job, have your own stuffs that you deal with, that you do, have your own other secret things, side quest. Take on many side quest. Okay, recently I'm taking on a lot of side questing max. Okay, side questing max. So have your own stuff, man. Have your own life outside of this social context, outside of this, where you yourself you spend time actually up leveling yourself, up leveling your intelligence, up leveling your skills, up leveling your increasing your value, learning how to respect yourself first, then other people. Not naturally, when they watch you are a person who respects themselves, they automatically subconsciously people can read, okay, your energy. So they will also consciously act in a way now that respects you. It works like that. It works. Trust me. The subconscious, we are linked. We are linked with interlinked with the whole world with our subconscious mind. That's why when we in our subconscious have ingrained this concept of respect, self-love, it's impossible. It's hard for people to come and approach you from a place of disrespect or manipulation or not love or not peaceful, because they will now stumble on every other thing, stumble on every other word or thing that they say to you. They're scared. They were not scared in a like bad way that you are a bad person, that's why they're scared you will destroy them or something. Not like that. Scared, but in a good way, healthy way. They're scared they might lose you. See, this is how you increase your value, not your worth. Sorry, your worth does not come from them. Your worth is written by God. Your worth is decided by the actions and the promises that you keep to yourself and the actions that you do for yourself. Okay, that's what defines how strong your self-worth is. That is another concept. Anyways, I'm talking about so many concepts here. Anyways, what am I next going to talk about? I never get tired of talking. If I am left in front of this camera, I can talk with you guys for the rest of my life, but sadly we can't do that. I also have my own life outside of this camera and this box that I'm right now. Okay, but yeah, do not try to do it from a place of manipulation, like based on fear or based on control, because if you're doing it from a place of fear that you might lose the bond, these people that you have with them, you might lose the connection. Ultimately you're going to manifest that then, because you're still insecure, you're not safe within yourself and your own company. You haven't learned how to enjoy and thrive in your own isolation, in your own company, right? First learn how to do that, how to thrive in your own isolation, how to thrive in your own presence, in your own energy, how to learn how to love and fall in love and respect with your own company. Do journaling, practice gratitude, so that you have so many things to look at in your life within you that you are grateful for. Increase on, do shadow work, okay, do journaling, reflect on your thoughts, question everything. Do not just accept anything that you hear from outside or from other people. Judge everything, question everything for your own highest good, okay? Because it will save you. A lot of toxicity, a lot of unnecessary drama, just like I saved myself from a lot of further unnecessary drama in my life, right? By cutting these two friends that I got a toxic dream about. And especially on the 999 portal, how can I not believe my intuition and how can I believe them instead? I would have betrayed myself like I did in the dream by listening to them if I didn't listen to myself in the real life as well. So you see, sometimes the choices you make may be right for you, but it may not be right for everyone else. But you still have to make the choices, because if it's the best for you, then it's in the best cause, the best purpose for others. That's what I have learned through my whole experience. Because if I ever wanted these people to actually change and become secure within themselves, to actually heal and become less judgmental, because I felt like these people were a lot of judgmental. Yeah, they didn't feel safe within themselves. I saw them, they were too, like, I felt they were clingy, kind of. Not saying that they are running from one person to another person in attention seeking way or that unhealthy way, but yeah, I felt like that. Like, I really felt that. They are stick to one person type of. Like, if they find someone. Anyways, I'm not explaining anything. It is so big, I'm not explaining. Guys, give me a break. Give me a break. Okay. Why is it so andhera? Guys, give me a break. I have been talking about too much logical things. Can we have fun? Like, come on, let's have fun. Like actual intellectual fun, okay? Not this kind of. I don't find fun in shallow things or shallow surface level things anymore. I find fun in talking about all these topics that I'm talking about right now. Is the most interesting for me to reflect on myself. And that's why I understand why these certain people, by the way they are acting right now presently in my life, how they can act in the future, right? And if they are presently choosing to hurt me or to poison me, harm me, what do you think they will change? Obviously no. See, you do not have to drink the whole ocean to know that the water is salty, do you? Honestly, that's a quote, but the deeper meaning behind this is you do not have to paint a different picture on an old sheet that God has already revealed to you. Yeah, you can see them, their potential. You can see that they can change if they really try, if they really want to evolve, if they really want to heal themselves, save themselves. They can change. But not when you are still here and you are trying to change or fix them. That's not how it works. You need to let go of them completely. And yes, by the time they realize your worth, you will be worth way more, way high, and you will be far too gone. That's the ending though. It's kind of sad, but it's also very much happy at the same time. And I would choose now to look at the happiness, the positive side, the brighter side of the whole situation and how it played out, right? And what the choices that I made, the decisions that I made was more important here for me to make it so as to serve my highest good and also make sure those people learn their lessons and it serves their highest good as well. Sometimes you may feel nasty, like you are the bad person, you're the bad guy, but necessarily I'm here to remind you, when you let other people learn their own fucking lesson and change by themselves, not by you, you actually do a huge favor to the universe, to the people you loved, and also to yourself first. So you do not need to feel bad, and just if you feel bad, every time you feel bad, you do not feel safe leaving them alone, because you love them at once, these people, right? You can just say to yourself, I release you. I had so many memories, I had so much fun experiences that I had with you, and I genuinely was interested, and I genuinely cherish those moments and experiences, and I respect them all. I have nothing else to wish on you or pray on you other than love, and other than respect, and other than peace. Okay, because you cannot wish ill on someone else and still be fine yourself in life. That is not how it works. And you always get back whatever you put out in this world. Whatever goes around comes back to you, right? So if you're putting bad energy to other people, it will come back to you. So what's the point? At the end of the day, what's the point? You cannot give bad energy, wish bad, and then receive good. You will also receive bad if you wish bad on others. Simple as that. But anyways, the law of reciprocity in universe, if you know that law, go and read that. uh, yeah, so you can just say to your nervous system, to your body, basically your body feels that unsafe feeling, right? Because yeah, ultimately you had to walk away from someone that you really felt so connected to deeply. It was a very deep bond, maybe something like that. Okay, so you just need to place your hand on heart and repeat to yourself, I forgive you. First of all, I forgive you, Aishi, whatever your name is, he or she, whoever is watching this video. Okay, repeat your name. I forgive you. I love you so much. I see all of the experiences that you have gone through with this person. I love and respect all of those experiences, but yes, I'm not trying to forget you. I'm not leaving you behind. You can come with me, you can come along with me, but I'm putting you on the back seat now. You are no longer in charge of how I feel and of how I move forward with the emotions that I want to move forward with. Is happiness, peace, forgiveness, and understanding. And I choose happiness, peace, forgiveness, and understanding for myself, and also for those people, for both of our highest good and highest good of all. So this is how you take a deep breath and release yourself from all of the guilt, all of the resentment. And I swear to God, after 2 days of doing this meditation, every time I released those thoughts, every time it came up, I addressed those thoughts, I addressed those feelings, I addressed those emotions, and I didn't act any opposite of how I used